So I'm gonna be real, there's nothing that really kills my excitement more in a lot of games than pretty much it just being a glorified checklist or being strung along a set of rails where you don't really have much impact or choice on the game or whatever. Look, a lot of the time for games, I'm not here to really just check boxes. I'm here to actually be able to make an impact and be able to tell a story that is really unique in my own. I'm here to actually make choices that are different, that actually kind of matter, you know? And that's why player-driven experiences, they're different. They hit different for me. It feels as if they actually belong to me as I'm able to create memorable impacts and make memorable choices on pretty much everything from the world to the story, the characters, everything. Look, whether it's in gaming or D&D or whatever, whenever I make meaningful choices and the world reacts to those choices, it feels like the game is actually respecting my time and then also my impact as a player. And as if my story is actually unique and that if I wasn't here or if I didn't do the things that I was doing, then it would have been a completely different outcome. So here's why I'm all in on player-driven worlds. For number one, I feel as if player-driven stories feel a little bit more impactful, at least for me. So one thing that I want to harp on is, as I mentioned before, your choices create unique and personal experiences. Let's look towards some of my favorite games that have come out recently. The two games that I want to talk about is Baldur's Gate 3 and then Elden Ring. And they kind of work a little bit synonymous. What I mean by this is that when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, it was an awesome experience of being able to hear of all the differing players just being like, oh yeah, the way how I got into the Underdark is I just found a random hole and I just jumped in and that was it. Or another way how I got into the Underdark was I found a ladder after raiding a goblin camp and I just climbed all the way down. Another way is like I teleported after talking to some XYZ person and they just had me wound up here, right? And the thing is that each and every one of these experiences, whenever you hear it as a player, you're like, wait, what? What are you talking about? That didn't happen for me. I did it this way, or I did it that way. And it makes it feel as if like, holy crap, my choices actually kind of mattered, and I had a completely different experience from one person's game to the next person's game, and it also kind of makes me want to play the game a little bit more. And it really shows that, hey, yeah, the game actually cared about my choices, and I was able to completely miss a route or a different way to sort of complete a thing or gather a couple of resources and materials. And that's just because the game respected my choices and the game was open enough to do it. But there's another game that also kind of did this as well, and that game is Elden Ring. Now, for context, I didn't necessarily play Elden Ring, or I did hear the stories and like how impactful it was as a game. And the thing is that a lot of players were really jazzed about how it kind of felt like the old school days of gaming where players would have to, there wasn't necessarily like forums and everybody didn't know about all the secrets immediately. From what I heard, it seemed like a lot of the players were more so just going off of their experiences and kind of working together collaboratively to tell people like, oh shoot, yeah, if you go down this path and you'll find this boss and you can maybe even avoid it to try to get to this little secret area and then find this little bit of loot or whatever, right? And it sounded like an awesome experience because everybody's sort of way of experiencing the game was completely different outside of just the class or the build that they were going. It was more so how they decided to engage with the game. And it seems like in both of these games, it's not just the same story that everyone else is getting. It's your story. It's your unique experience within the game world that the developers kind of made, or that the game master made for their players. Another thing I want to harp on is that when you're in a player-driven world, it feels as if the game actually respects your time as a player. In these two games, it feels as if everything you actually do is meaningful. And it's not like busy work or grinding. Whenever, you could say this for like even the games like The Witcher 3 or sometimes even Cyberpunk, right? Where you sort of go in a specific direction and you find some crazy wicked side plot that is completely avoidable, but you sink your teeth into it because you're that engaged with it, because it actually respected you wanting to go explore and going the extra mile, and we have some awesome secrets for you to kind of find and explore. And we're not talking about something that's just like, oh, you know, you get some random collectible that actually has no impact or anything and it's just for the sake of like collecting random bullshit. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about stuff that actually has rewards and actual consequences that affect the world in some way, shape, or form. You can even look towards Divinity Original Sin 2, where you may stumble across some random NPC and then, you know, 3 acts later, that NPC comes back in and they're like, holy crap, thank you so much for helping me way back when. Or here's a secret path that you didn't know about. Or here's that magic item that's going to help you defeat the next boss. And it feels as if like everything actually matters and there's a purpose to a lot of the things in the world. Hey, and by the way, if you've ever played Baldur's Gate 3 or Divinity Original Sin 2 and you actually want to learn how to play D&D, or you want to get into a new D&D game after your group has kind of been petering or scheduling issues have been getting in the way, Project Aurora is the best place to go. And I say that so confidently because we've had over 100 or so players and dozens of dungeon masters all building a giant living universe over the past 6 years that have been able to accomplish all of these things, whether introducing new people to D&D or taking individuals who maybe fell in and out of love of D&D and then get that little spark reignited. So, or join the Discord below and let's continue with the video. Let's talk about why I think this is the best fit style for my D&D games going forward. See, the thing is that in D&D, at least in my experience, a player-driven approach lets the players actually choose and chase what's meaningful to them. It's not me just kind of assuming and trying to have to figure out what they like or what they engage with or what they care about. The players just tell me what they want to do. The players just go out and or further in the plot because it's what their characters care about or what the players care about and are having fun with. There isn't really much guessing work of like, is this going to be interesting, or are they going to really like this NPC, or are they going to fall in love with this plot or whatever? I don't have to worry about that. I can at least rest assured knowing that my players are doing what they actually want to do. And even if it doesn't necessarily land, I can at least know what they wanted to kind of do and build upon it a little bit later and make it a bit better, rather than shotgun firing a bunch of stuff that they probably don't care about, or I'm just kind of guessing. The point is that a player-driven approach, at least for my games, it can engage the players even more to pursue what they want to accomplish, whether it's their character's backstory, whether it's that funny, wacky NPC, or just some random thing they've always wanted to try in D&D. You know, the thing is that they can do it. Personally, as a player, whenever I'm in these type of games, it feels awesome. And it also feels a little bit better to run as a DM, to kind of run these a little bit sandboxy style compared to a linear game, because it feels as if the players are just engaging with the world and not having to follow like a script or something, as they're the individuals who are driving their story forward. It's not me trying to tout myself as a crazy storyteller and coming up with these epic plots. It's what they want to do and how they want to impact everything. Like the video if you enjoyed it. I didn't really record a script for this. I just want to ramble and talk. So if you like these style of videos, let me know in the comments, or if you want me to go back to script stuff, then let me know.